Hey, what's up, guys? Team Hard Life, Captain Albert Zertucci here, and I'm just now leaving my chiropractor. I haven't been to him in about 9 months, and it was because the last time he worked on me, it got to the point that I was running. I literally hadn't been able to do any kind of running, so I'm going to give you a little bit more insight here in just a second.
Gotta bite. I think I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I gotta learn. I'ma call the whole team.
All right, guys. So I'm back at the shop. Like I said, just left my chiropractor's office, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, through the decades of, trial and error of being a human, of falling, getting hurt, and getting in car wrecks and stuff like that, I've had these ailments, and most of it had to do with my hips, my middle, my back, and my neck and shoulder area. Well, the chiropractors I went to before, they were always cracking me, positioning me, electrodes, and all kinds of stuff, and it would semi-remedy the pain, but it always came back in those same exact spots. And I'm talking, they'd fix me up and it'd be good for like a year, and then a year later it would come back and haunt me. And I truly felt they weren't dealing with the issue. Like it really, how is the pain going to come back in the exact same spot every single time? So I went to another chiropractor, and this was after I met him at a fishing expo that was held here in Corpus Christi. And I was talking about my problems and stuff like that. He goes, well, I got this coupon here, and it was for a free initial consultation, x-ray, and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, he goes, at least we can find out what's wrong with you, and then we can start and stuff like that. And since all the other chiropractors you have to pay for all that, I was figuring, well, you know what, this will give me a head start to kind of get where I need to go. Because by this time, my back was cramping up so bad that if I sat a certain way for a certain amount of time, it would cramp up on me, and it would cramp so bad that it was making it hard for me to breathe. And then my hips started, deteriorating. I've already got a core decompression done on my left side, a total right hip replacement done, or sorry, I've got a core decompression done on my left side, and on my right side I've already had the whole right hip replaced. Well, these pains have come back, and they've come back with a vengeance. And so I was like, you know what, I need to go back to see him and see what we can do about what's going on. And sure enough, he started checking the x-rays and stuff like that, and saw that what was happening in the originals happened again. But here's the thing, I did not finish my treatment with him because last year my truck broke down. And then, I rode a bike for months, and there was no way I could be riding a bike to his doctor's office and be back and still finish off a full day. And virtually it made it impossible for me to accomplish what I needed to accomplish and fix my health. So I kind of limped on from there, but immediate things I saw were that I was sleeping at night, like a full night's sleep. And that's something I ain't had in over a decade. And then I wasn't cramping in my back. And even now, when I was sitting here doing my videos earlier, I feel like there was a pinch happening in the middle of my back, and I could point exactly where it's happening. And it really, really would hurt, by the end of the day and stuff like that. And then I would be drained and didn't really want to do nothing. So it was affecting me in more ways than just pain. So I finally broke down. I said, look, I need to set up my appointments again. I need to finish the treatment or restart it, because that's the thing with your body. You've been hurt for so long, and you've learned to cope with it, that when you do something to correct it, it wants to shift back to the way it was before, because that's the way it's been for so long. And you've dealt with it for so long like that. Well, in this, you have to keep going back, and to where your body will finally break away. And it normally takes about 30 days for you to break a bad habit. And so the first day he told me, he goes, look, you're going to feel like you've been in a car wreck, you're going to be drained of energy and this and that. I would highly recommend you go home, eat, and then crash out for the rest of the afternoon. I said, man, it's only like 6 o'clock. He's like, trust me. He goes, this is the first time you've had this kind of therapy, and you're gonna feel it. And so I was like, all right. On the drive to my shop, I started feeling drained of energy. And I was like, wow. I was like, he didn't crack my back. He didn't, torque me in any kind of way, shape, or form. He just hit me with the pulse behind my ear. And what it is my skull, everybody's skull, is teeter-tottering on one vertebrae, and that vertebrae leads up to the rest of your back. Well, if that vertebrae is canted or off or misaligned by any degrees, it misshapes your whole alignment of your back. And at first when he was telling me this, I was like, wow, this guy just took me for like $50 or $40 at the time. I was like, wow, I'm probably never gonna go back. That was me walking out. These was my thoughts. Within 5 to 10 minutes, I could start feeling everything he told me I was gonna feel. So I got back to the shop and I was like, man, I said, dude, I don't feel good. I said, I felt like I got into a car wreck. And I was like, dude, I gotta go home. So I went home. I didn't even eat. I was that drained. By the time I drove home, I laid down and I slept for 12 hours. Yeah, that was, wow. I hadn't gotten 12 hours of sleep in more than a decade, easily. And even to the point that my daughter came up and tried to wake me up twice through the middle of the night so she can use the restroom, because normally I would go flip on the lights and turn them on and then turn them off when she's done. And it just, wow, I was blown away. I was like, okay. Well, when I got up the next day, I was like, wow, I don't feel that little kink in my back. And so I was like, okay, well, that was the next day. Well, the third day when I was supposed to go back, I could feel that kink kind of coming back. So I went back and he did the same exact thing. He measured me out and said that, I needed this treatment done to me. So he did it again, and right then again, I could feel that pain just go away, and we kept doing that. So for several weeks, I followed that regimen of seeing him 3 times a week. By the 3rd or 4th week, it was like, wow, I don't feel this pain. I'm doing this. I feel more energy. Like everything was falling into place. And it actually, his original program was this long, which shrunk down even further. He's like, well, if you're doing this well, then we don't need to do this. We don't need to do this. And he shrunk it down, which is what really caught my eye too, because he wasn't dead set, oh no, you have to finish this. I mean, if your body adjusts and catches up to where it needs to be that quickly, why not move ahead forward in the right, way to compensate for that? So I needed like 2 more months and I would have been done. And it was like 1 treatment every other month. But man, it held me off for over a year. Over a year, I've had no pain, but in the last month, it's bad. So I told him, I said, look, I went back over there today, had the treatment, and it's just something that I felt I needed to share with y'all, because everybody goes to doctors, everybody goes to lawyers, everybody goes to this, that, and everybody has their own experiences with them and stuff like that. I'm sharing this experience with y'all because a ton of my fishing teams, friends, and all of that, even family, they all have back problems, and they all have been cracked and distorted in any kind of way, shape, or form. So I have gotten to the point that, I need to share this. I need to show my friends that there are chiropractors out there that will do what is needed to fix you properly. And this guy has definitely changed my whole way of thought of what a chiropractor should be doing and should not be doing. I don't like being contorted and cracked and this and that if he don't have to do it, because what he was doing for me, I'm talking was minimal, but it did the maximum amount of improvement to me in comparison to these other guys that I was paying top dollar for, and I was getting cracked, and they were massaging, and just so much pain was involved, and I'm not getting it with over here. I'm getting the problem dealt with. So this is the first episode, and I'm going to continue on with my program with y'all and letting y'all know how it goes. But yeah, even right now, I kind of feel like I'm drained and everything. I'm going to try and stick it out here at the shop because we got a major weight order that has to go out today. And so I'm going to try and knock it out, but there are no promises, because, when your body talks to you and it's telling you got to do something, and sometimes you got to follow it. So again, guys, this is who I went to. It's called Beacon Chiropractic, and here's their info. And I would highly, highly recommend you go talk with him and just get an initial consultation and see what he can do for you. And And be sure to let him know I sent you his way, just so he can get an idea. Because, like I said, I know what it's like to be in pain. I know what it's like to cramp up in the middle of the night. I know what it's like to not get any sleep and be so drained. I don't like taking energy drinks. I don't like taking all these extra things that I don't need to take if I don't need to take them, So, all right, guys, that's just a little food for thought for y'all, and I hope y'all enjoyed. So, again, I'll let y'all know how mine goes, and y'all can follow along before y'all decide to make a decision, but I would highly encourage you not waiting any longer. If you ain't got to deal with the pain, then why deal with it? All right, guys, laters.